Hello Internet, welcome back to Oblivion. I was going to play Morrowind today, but then I figured, I'm gonna run out of Oblivion footage long before I run out of Morrowind footage. So, here we are. This may end up looking a bit different from the previous videos. Whee! Get out of here. I've done a bit of configuration tweaking, as you could see in the I tweak video, something titled like that I released a week or two ago. Well, as of recording this, it's probably like 3 or 4 weeks by the time this video goes up. So HDR is going to look a bit different, among a couple other things. And, well, I've dropped the game resolution down to 1600 by 900, so I'm going to have to spend a shit ton of extra rendering time upscaling these videos from 800 by 450 to 854 by 480. It's unfortunate, but the end effect is the frame rate is significantly improved. Well, maybe not at the moment. It's still sitting around the 20s here in Breville exterior. And I honestly don't know why that is. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, I'm going to the Mages Guild to speak on this quest. Come to think of it, I don't think I actually tested the performance here in Breville, so that may be why I went the wrong way. That may be why the frame rate isn't much improved in this area. Of course, obviously this is performance with Fraps recording. It's running perfectly fine without it. But once again, it's plainly obvious. I suppose another upside of, playing and recording at a lower resolution is I can record a little longer. You who? Yes, you are who I'm supposed to speak with.
Any luck talking with Varen Vermora yet? It should be no trouble at all once you use that scroll.
Yes, it went well. However, I think, if I remember right, he sold the staff to somebody in the Imperial City.
He sold it, huh? Well, this just keeps getting worse. Very well. I presume he gave you some indication of where the staff is now located? Take these and go resolve the situation. And of course, please keep this just between us.
Got it. Can you tell me about any rumors?
The Mages Guild has made...
Nope, nothing new. Anything on the staff?
No staff yet? Well, keep at it. Those charm scrolls should do most of the work for you, if you put them to good use. Get that staff back, associate.
Well, I'm not sure I'll need them.
How do you do?
What's going on with you?
I've heard that the great houses of Morrowind are in upheaval. Indoril is in ruins, and Redoran is besieged by the Nords of Skyrim.
Morrowind has always been a troubling place. It seems it is more so now.
Goodbye.
Hi.
She doesn't leave home much, but
Goodbye. Hi.
Melina has a lot of experience
What the hell?
fighting in Night.
Crazy people.
Hello, associate.
I'm going the wrong way.
She has a lot of knowledge to share.
Good to know.
Have you heard any...
I seriously need to remember that F1 through F4 open up these menus. My mouse is acting up real bad again with the middle mouse button, and I really don't know why. Oh, that's right, I was going to stop by the handy stables here and get some horse armor. And while I'm at it, I don't know if I can find it again. May as well go up north to Frostcraig's Spire again.
Word about the other provinces?
Or, not again, why did I say that? I mean, north to Frostcraig's Spire. Maybe I meant north again instead of north to Frostcraig's Spire again. I don't know, I just say random shit and I don't understand it. Alright, now I just need to remember where I put my horse. Because I remember in the tweak video when I was testing out what I messed with in the configuration files, I ended up... Bandit? No, you're a guard. Yeah, I ended up accidentally stealing that horse. Which is clearly not mine. I think that one is, though. So now we're off towards the Imperial City. Shouldn't be too far away, if I remember right. And that thing up ahead there just kind of popped up out of nowhere. There's a bear in the middle of the road. Goodbye. Oh man, I was enjoying that song too. Now let's see if those bandits I encountered in the configuration tweak video will be here again. I wonder if there'll be... Oh yeah, they're here, and they look like they may be a pain in the ass to deal with. Oh yeah, the little life bar thing, I forgot they turned that on, and I don't remember how to turn it off.
Die, cur!
But I do have to say, it does look a little better than the thingamabobber. Freeze. It looks better than the little icon above where the crosshair would be, but it seems a little out of place for a first-person game. You know, let's play bows here. Burn. That's not what I wanted. Down you go. Silver dagger, that's worth a little bit. Glass arrows. Damn, no wonder he was hurting me so badly. Take the iron one though. Steel bow. Probably just sell it. It's worth a fair bit. As is that. And that. Elven battle axe. Well, that's certainly different than what he dropped last time. Huh. I was expecting some of those to break. Bit of a... Oh no, I suppose I can just get rid of this. Now, what to get rid of for this last 4 units of weight? Guess maybe some of these cheaper books. Which for better or for worse? Oops. Forgot I need to turn off that little personal fan when I record, otherwise it gets in the microphone's way. Better for worse, that means I have to read this all. Galarian the Mystic by Asgrim Kolskrig. During the early bloody years of the Second Era, Vanus Galarian was born under the name Trectus, a serf on the estate of a minor nobleman. Lord Girnace of Solik-on-Care, Trectus's father and mother were common laborers, but his father had secretly, against the law of Lord Girnace, taught himself and then Trectus to read. Lord Girnace... I've read this before. I know I've read this before because I recognize this. Just haven't read it in this game or in Morrowind. Well, either way, I think I'll just kind of leave it here. Yes, I have read this before. Just kind of leave it here just in case it wasn't in this playthrough. I just noticed I've got arrows in my shield over here. Huh. I just leave it on each of these pages for a little bit, pause to read, and I'll get rid of that. And with any luck, this book should be the one that I need to get rid of to be able to move again. Whew. Okay. Sip of a cold coffee here. The modern lock has a fascinating history in Cyrodiil. The need to restrict access to one's home has been a problem since homes were first built. The very first security system was a simple bar across the door. This has the obvious shortcoming of only being functional when the owner is at home. The first recorded instance of a lock is the ingenious arm breaker of Castle Anvil. The Count of the day put 5 slide bars on the side of the door. A hole in the door just above them allowed him to reach in and manipulate any of these bars. Only one of the bars truly locked or unlocked the door. The other 4 released the clasp on a hammer that fell down on the person's arm. Only by knowing which sliding bar was the true lock could one safely open the door. For over 100 years, the state-of-the-art in locks was defined by sliding bars and punished traps. Then the famous dwarf Mizunchind, I'm assuming that's what that is, invented the pin lock. Huh. So I'm guessing in the Elder Scrolls universe, the dwarves, or Dwemer, were the real technological geniuses. Of course, this is hinted at or even said outright in Morrowind quite a few times. Incidentally, with the religious tribunal condemning it. But that's a completely different subject altogether. The first example had 3 pins. The key was turned to the lock 4 times, each turn depending on a different pin being in position. Obviously, a pin could be used more than once. It was 65 years before anyone devised a method to open a pin-based lock without the key, and without damaging the lock. It wasn't that the problem was so difficult, it was that nobody other than royalty could afford Sun Chen's locks. An enterprising blacksmith named Orenthal decided to mass-produce a common form of the lock at a reasonable price. Suddenly, every shop had a lock. Now there was a reason to subvert the locks. It wasn't long before lockpicks and lockpicking appeared. Orenthal became quite wealthy, inventing more and more sophisticated locks. Today's locks are sophisticated mechanisms with spring-loaded pins. Each metal pin must be pushed up by the key precisely to open the lock. Any imprecision in the key, any poorly made copy, or any clumsy attempt at lockpicking releases a spring tension, causing the pin to clamp down upon or even break the key or lockpick. Locks are made more secure by using multiple pins in the lock. Multiple pin locks are more delicate and difficult to make, and more expensive, but provide a greater reliability against tampering. Multiple pin locks have the further virtue of resetting all pins when any single pin is tampered with. A single mistake with the fifth pin of a 5-pin lock requires a thief to reset all 5 pins again. Most affordable locks are 1-pin or 2-pin locks. The 5-pin lock is the highest achievement of the lockmaker's craft, and the greatest challenge to a would-be intruder. Picking the modern lock is an art form. A lockpick is a thin metal bar with a small tooth on the end. The tooth is used to press the pin up to the lock and mechanism. The thief uses skill and experience to manipulate each pin in turn to determine the exact tension necessary to set the spring-loaded pin at its catch point. With a subtle pressing and lofting of the pin, the master thief determines the exact motion required to set it. A novice thief breaks many picks while learning his trade, or levels up alteration and learns spells to do it for him. Only with time and practice will he get better at guessing the tension and timing necessary to set a pin. As a result, novice thieves tend to carry a great many lockpicks, while the masters only need to carry a few. And that's still not enough. Ah, Withershins. I read this in Morrowind, so I'll just be doing this sort of thing again. Pause to read it. I mean, the font of the text is plenty large enough on these books that even in 480p it should be more than sufficient to read. Of course I won't be dropping that one because it's worth 200 gold. That'd be just a terrible, terrible waste. The Amulet of Kings, however, it's only worth 1, so yeah, it's also only 5 pages, so I'll read it. In the first years of the First Era, a powerful race of elves called the Aelids, or the Heartland High Elves, ruled central Tamriel with an iron hand. The high and haughty Aelids relied on their patrons, the treacherous Daedra Lords, to provide armies of Daedra and dead spirits. With these fearless magical armies, the Aelids preyed without mercy upon the young races of men, slaughtering or enslaving them at their whim. On behalf of the suffering human races, Saint Alessia, the first in the line of Cyrodiils, sought the aid of Akatosh, the dragon god of time, and ruler of the noble Adra. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart, and blanked Saint Alessia with his blood of dragons, and made a covenant that so long as Alessia's generations were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of Oblivion, and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies, the Daedra-loving Aelids. In token of this covenant, Akatosh gave to Alessia and her descendants the Amulet of Kings and the eternal dragonfires of the Imperial City. Thus does Alessia become the first gem in the Cyrodiilic Amulet of Kings. The gem is the red diamond in the middle of the amulet. This is the symbol of the Empire, and later taken as a symbol of the Septum line. It is surrounded by 8 other gems, one for each of the Divines. So long as the Empire shall maintain its worship of Akatosh and his kin, and so long as Alessia's heirs shall bear the Amulet of Kings, Akatosh and his divine kin maintain a strong barrier between Tamriel and Oblivion, so that mortal men need never again fear the devastating summoned hosts of the Daedra Lords. But if the Empire should slacken in its dedication to the 9 Divines, or if the blood of Alessia's heirs should fail, then shall the barriers between Tamriel and the Daedric realms have fall, and Daedra worshippers might summon lesser Daedra and undead spirits to trouble the races of men. I think I'll keep that book, though. Just like put it in my Crosscraig Spire house. So let's just get rid of a crappy potion. Man, I swear, this game tortures me with its lack of good healing spells. Now I'm going to need another Oblivion Gate. I just went through one of you very recently, so I don't feel like going through another one. So I must say, I do need to run away from these things first and foremost. Because at some point I need to shut off the little health bar floating above targets' bodies, because this is getting annoying. Because while I'm doing that, I can figure out just what the hell is running in the background that's making the game run this choppily. Like, this is how the game ran when I was at 1080p. And I thoroughly tested when I was working with the configuration tweaks. The Inn of Ill Omen. Well, that's interesting. The Inn of Ill Omen is host to an Oblivion Gate. Well, that seems reasonable. Let's just have a look at this place. Rather dark, don't you think?
Well, I'll be a spotted snow bear, a customer. Hell, we got plenty of rooms if you want one.
Can you tell me about this place?
That's a horrible name for an inn, I know, but I just can't bring myself to change it. Besides, I like the sign.
Doesn't seem like a very good name for me, to me. Tell me about some rumors.
Imps. I hate them. Little buggers flitting around, tossing fireballs at you.
Yeah, brown bastards too. Whoop. Wrong game.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Sure, that's gotta
You're a
restore
fine
health.
negotiator.
Now, anything with restore health or magicka is an instant buy.
Come back and see me again. Farewell, and tell your friends, the Inn of Ill Omen is open for business, as always.
Well, that's good, I guess. I should have a look around while I'm at it. Private quarters, and they're not locked. I have no lockpicks, so I can't even practice.
Well, well, who might you